Now I'm going to teach any man who comes my way.
I just wanted to see your hair, Chidinma. So this is why you never let me touch it.
You shouldn't have done that, my love. Now you have to live with what's underneath.
Chief Amadi was one of the richest men in Nigeria. His empire stretched from oil in the Delta to chains of luxury hotels in Lagos and diamond mines in South Africa. He was handsome, charismatic, and ruthless in business, but strangely lonely since the untimely death of his first wife. One evening, at a lavish party held at the hotel, under crystal chandeliers and to the sounds of live saxophone, Chief Amadi met Chidinma's gaze for the first time. She stood in the middle of the crowd, wearing a blood-red dress that clung to every curve of her body like a second skin. Her lips were painted a deep red. Her eyes were accentuated with a line of eyeliner, perfect, and on her head sat a wig, long, black and smooth, so perfect it seemed made of pure silk. No one had ever seen her without it. Never, not even her closest friends, not even the servants who had worked for her for years, not even the hairstylists she paid handsomely to come to her home. Chidinma slept with it, washed with it, lived with it. It was her crown, her elegance, her armor. Chief Amadi, used to women throwing themselves at his feet, was immediately captivated. He approached her, a glass of champagne in his hand. "Madam, I don't think if I know you, yet I know everyone here." "Who are you?" he asked, his deep voice rolling like a gentle command. Chidinma turned her head slowly, a slow, dangerous smile spreading across her red lips. "I'm Chidinma, just Chidinma. And you're Chief Amadi with the billions." "Everyone knows you, Mr. Amadi," he laughed, surprised by her cool assurance. "So tell me, Chidinma, what is a woman as beautiful as you doing in a corner of this crowded room?" She looked at him with a gaze that seemed to pierce him to the soul. "I was waiting for someone who would dare to come and talk to me. Most men are afraid." "Afraid of what?" he insisted, intrigued. "Afraid of what they might discover if they got too close." That night, they talked for hours. She was intelligent, cultured, funny, mysterious. She knew business, politics, the secrets of the powerful. She never spoke of her past, nor of her family, nor where she was coming from. Only that she had always been there in the shadow of the great men. 3 months later, they were married. The ceremony was the event of the year. Guests came from all over the world, fireworks lit the sky, famous singers performed. Chidinma arrived in a white beaded dress, her wig still perfect, flowing gently in the sea breeze. Chief Amadi, dazzled, whispered in her ear during the first dance, "You are the most beautiful thing that has ever happened to me." She replied softly, "And you, my love, you are the richest." The years passed. Their life was a dream, straight from the tabloids. Villas on Banana Island, private jets, vacations in Dubai and the Maldives, parties with presidents and ministers. Chidinma ran a charity foundation with cold efficiency. She charmed everyone, but some of the servants whispered in the kitchens, "Madam never takes off her wig, not even to sleep. I saw her go to bed with it on and get up with it on. It's not normal. And you've noticed, since she arrived, the money is flowing in even more. Contracts are falling from the sky, as if she brought good luck or bad luck to others," murmured an old cook, making the sign of the cross. One day, Chief Amadi's former business partner, Uchenna, who had lost almost his entire fortune after refusing a deal with Chief Amadi, came to see him in secret. They met in the villa's private office, behind closed doors. "Listen to me carefully," Uchenna began, his voice trembling. "Your wife, she's not what she seems." Chief Amadi frowned. "What do you mean?" "I knew a woman like her 20 years ago. Same beauty, same wig that she never removes, same way of speaking. She had a different name, but it was her. She seduced an oil tycoon in Port Harcourt. He became incredibly rich for 2 years. Then he died in a bizarre accident, and she disappeared with a large part of his fortune." Chief Amadi burst out laughing. "That's all. You lost and now you're making up stories. Get out of here before I have you thrown out." Uchenna left, but his words remained etched in a corner of Chief Amadi's mind. At night, in their immense bedroom overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, Chidinma slept facing the window, her wig perfectly in place. Chief Amadi, sometimes awake in the darkness, would pass his hand over the synthetic strands, wondering why. Why this secret? Why this obsession? One evening, after a long and exhausting day of negotiations, Chief Amadi came home late. Chidinma was already fast asleep. He slipped into bed, tired and restless. As he turned in his sleep, his hand caught the wig. He yanked it off sharply. The wig came loose. What he saw woke him with a scream, his heart pounding wildly. Chidinma's head was no longer a head. The skin was rotten, decayed, greenish-grey and limp. White maggots were emerging from the holes in her skull, crawling into what remained of her mouth. Glass worms writhed in the sparse grey hair that remained beneath the wig. A pestilent stench immediately filled the room. Chief Amadi screamed. Chidinma opened her eyes, eyes that were no longer human. Yellow, bright, ancient. She smiled, a horrible smile stretching what remained of her lips. "You shouldn't have, my love," she murmured in a voice that seemed to come from the depths of the earth. "Now you know." Chief Amadi recoiled violently, hitting his head against the silk sheets that slipped, as if they too wanted to flee this horror. His cry echoed in the vast room, bouncing off the paneled walls and the bay windows that overlooked the dark, turbulent ocean. He lay there, his eyes wide, unable to look away from the face that stared at him with a terrifying calm. "Chidinma, what are you?" he finally stammered, his voice broken as if his throat were filled with sand. The thing that had been his wife tilted her head to the side. The maggots continued their slow, macabre dance, some falling onto the white pillow with small, wet sounds. The smell was unbearable, a stench of an open grave, of flesh long decomposed, mingled with something else, something ancient like the humus of a primeval forest. "What I am," she repeated, in a voice no longer quite her own. It was deeper, older, with an echo that seemed to come from very far away. As if several mouths were speaking at the same time. "I am what men like you have always desired, Chief Amadi. Beauty, infinite wealth, absolute power." She rose from the bed with deliberate slowness. Her movements were fluid, almost graceful, despite the horror of her appearance. The silk nightgown she wore suddenly seemed obscene on this body that should never have existed. "Stay back," Chief Amadi yelled, grabbing the bedside lamp and holding it like a pathetic weapon. The thing that bore her name burst into a low, guttural laugh that rattled the crystal glasses on the nightstand. "Always so brave, my husband, always so strong. You think a lamp can stop me? I who have seen empires rise and fall. I who walked among the living when Lagos was just a fishing village." Chief Amadi felt his legs tremble. He stepped back until his back hit the glass doors. Outside, the waves crashed against the rocks below, as if nature itself wanted to warn him. "You lied to me all these years." Lied? She took a step forward. The maggots fell from her skull in a small white cascade. "I gave you everything you wanted, Chief Amadi. Look around you. This house, these cars, these contracts you signed without even reading them, as if by magic. These competitors who fell ill at the worst possible time, these investments that yielded hundreds of %. All of that was me." She held out a hand to him. Her nails were long, black, curved like claws. The skin hung in strips, revealing yellowish bones in places. "I need men like you, ambitious men, greedy men. Your desire feeds me, your wealth sustains me and keeps me presentable." Chief Amadi shook his head. No, it's impossible. I've seen photos of you as a child, friends, memories. Actors, people paid to play a role. Do you really think someone could live this long without aging? Look at me now. Look at what I truly am." She moved even closer. Chief Amadi could now see the horrific details, the worms protruding from the eye sockets, the blackened and sharp teeth, the shreds of skin hanging like torn curtains. "How many? How many before me?" he asked in a whisper. The creature's grin widened, revealing rotting gums. "Dozens, perhaps hundreds, perhaps thousands. Yoruba kings, Portuguese merchants, British governors, generals during the Biafran War, and now billionaires like you. She was very close now, so close he could smell her fetid breath, a mix of earth, rot, and ancient blood. And now that you know, what are you going to do? Chief Amadi closed his eyes for a second, desperately searching for a way out. The door, the guards, the telephone, but she was faster. "Are you going to kill me?" he whispered. She burst into that terrible laugh again. "Kill you? Oh no, my darling, that would be too quick, too merciful. No, you will live. You will live a very long time, and you will continue to be rich, richer than ever, because now you are truly mine." She placed her cold, wet hand on his face. The sensation was unbearable, as if death itself were touching him. "Every night you will sleep beside this. Every morning I will put my wig back on. And to the outside world, I will be the beautiful Chidinma, your perfect wife. And you will carry my secret." Chief Amadi felt something break inside him, a part of his soul, perhaps. "Why? Why me?" "Because you are the best, my darling, the most ambitious. With you, I can last for decades, perhaps a whole century. Imagine all that we will accomplish together." At that moment, footsteps echoed in the corridor, a quick approach. The worried voice of the butler, Ekine, called at the door. Sir, is everything all right?" I heard a shout. The thing turned slowly toward the door. Its yellow eyes glowed in the darkness. "Answer him," it whispered. "Tell him everything's fine, that you had a nightmare." Chief Amadi opened his mouth, but no sound came out. She tightened her grip on his face, her claws digging slightly into his skin. "Answer, or I'm going out and he'll see. And then your whole house will see, your employees, your friends, the whole world. Do you want that?" The knocking doubled. "Chief Amadi, should I call security?" Chief Amadi closed his eyes. Hot tears streamed down his cheeks. "Everything's all right, Ekene," he shouted finally, in a voice that tried to sound normal but was trembling terribly. "Just a nightmare. Go back to bed." A silence. Then the hesitant voice of the butler. "Are you sure, sir?" "Yes," Chief Amadi almost shouted. "Leave us." Footsteps receded slowly. Chidinma took a step back. With an almost tender gesture, she picked up the wig that had fallen to the floor and placed it back on her decaying skull. In a few seconds, under Chief Amadi's horrified eyes, the rotten skin seemed to heal itself. The maggots retreated into the depths. In moments, her face returned to that of the beautiful woman Chidinma. Perfect, serene, with her enigmatic smile. She had become again the woman who had married him. "There," she said softly in her normal voice. "Now it's better like this, don't you think?" She approached the bed and lay down next to him as if nothing had happened. "Come back to bed, my love. It's late. Tomorrow we have that meeting with the governor. Do you remember?" Chief Amadi remained frozen against the glass doors, his body trembling, his spirit shattered. "Come," she said, patting the mattress beside her. Chief Amadi obeyed slowly, like an automaton. He lay down beside her at a safe distance. She turned toward him, placed a possessive hand on his chest. "Sleep now, and what you saw tonight will stay between us forever." In the darkness, Chief Amadi stared at the ceiling, listening to the steady sound of her breathing. Breathing she probably didn't need to make. And for the first time in years, he was afraid to fall asleep next to his wife. The days that followed were hell for Chief Amadi. Every morning after that cursed night, he awoke to harsh sunlight filtering through the linen curtains. Chidinma was already up, sitting at her marble dressing table, adjusting her wig with meticulous precision. She wore a cream-colored house dress, her red lips smiling at the mirror. "Good morning, my love," she said in a soft, lilting voice, as if nothing had changed. "Did you sleep well? You seemed restless last night." Chief Amadi, lying in bed, stared at her without replying. His throat was dry. He had barely closed his eyes, watching every movement of the thing beside him. Terrified that she would remove her wig again to remind him of the truth, she turned to him, one eyebrow perfectly arched. "Chief Amadi, is everything all right?" He forced himself to nod. "What about the negotiations today?" "Of course," she replied, rising gracefully. She approached the bed and placed a cool hand on his forehead. "Perhaps you have a fever. Don't worry, I'll ask Akini to bring some ginger tea." He flinched at her touch, but she acted as if she hadn't noticed. As soon as she left the room, Chief Amadi jumped out of bed. He locked the door, his heart pounding. Then he rushed to the bathroom, vomited in the marble toilet, his hands trembling. The image of that writhing skull kept returning, burned into his mind. He rinsed his face with cold water, looking at himself in the mirror. His eyes, ringed with dark circles, stared back. His face seemed to be fading away. "My God, what have I done?" he murmured to himself. He spent the day locked in his office, feigning illness. The calls piled up, ministers, foreign investors, his lawyer. He didn't answer any of them. He simply stared at his computer screen, desperately searching for answers. He frantically typed into search engines, "Yoruba witch wig," "spirit that steals wealth," "immortal women, Nigerian folklore." Nothing came up. Stories of Mami Wata, tales of the Ogbanje who seduced men, but nothing that matched exactly. He even secretly called an old Babalawo he had known since childhood, an old man named Baba who lived in Osogbo. The phone rang a long time before the cracked voice answered. "Hello, who is it?" "Baba, it's Chief Amadi." A pause. "Ah, the great man. What makes you call an old man like me? Do you need protection for your business? Listen to me. I have a problem with my wife." He then told everything: the wig, the rotting head, the maggots, the old voice. He spoke for 20 minutes, his voice breaking. At the other end of the line, a long silence, then a deep sigh. "Chief Amadi, you married a Gbere." "A what?" "A Gbere, a spirit of the forests. They are very rare, very dangerous. They take the form of beautiful women, always wear something to hide their true face. A wig, a headscarf, a veil. They feed on the ambition of men. They make them rich, yes, but in exchange, they take their souls little by little. And once a man discovers the truth, it is already too late. He is bound forever." Chief Amadi felt his blood run cold. How? How to get rid of them? Baba Akbar sighed gently. "Get rid of them, my son. No one has ever succeeded. Those who have tried have died in accidents, from sudden illnesses. The Gbere doesn't let go of its prey. The only thing anyone has ever said is that you have to force it to cry. A Gbere never cries. If it sheds a single tear, it loses its power and must return to the forest. But no one has ever managed to make it cry. They have no heart." Chief Amadi hung up, dejected. When evening came, he had to face dinner with Chidinma. They were alone in the immense dining room, facing each other under the crystal chandelier that cast dancing light on the silver cutlery. She ate with her usual elegance. He barely touched his plate. "You're so quiet tonight, darling," she said, putting down her fork. "Is something bothering you?" He looked up. The wig was perfect, her eyes sparkling. "No, nothing." She smiled. "You know, Chief Amadi, I can tell when you're lying to me. We've been married for 5 years now. I know you better than anyone." He clenched his fists under the table. "Chidinma, why don't you ever take off your wig?" Chidinma's smile didn't fade, but something in her eyes changed, a flash of warning. "We've already talked about this, my love. It's my beauty secret. A woman has the right to have her little mysteries." "Not even with me, your husband?" She leaned forward, placed her hand on his. "Some secrets protect those we love." He abruptly withdrew his hand. "Stop. Stop pretending everything is normal." "I know what you are." Silence fell in the room. The servants who stood in the shadows slipped away discreetly. Chidinma looked at him for a long time. "And what am I, according to you?" "A thing. A Gbere. A witch." "You are not human." She burst out laughing, a crystalline laugh, almost joyful. "Oh, Chief Amadi, you spoke to a Babalawo, didn't you? Those old storytellers and their tales." She slowly got up, walked around the table, approached him. "Do you really want to know what I am?" She held out her hand toward her wig. Chief Amadi jumped up, stepped back. "No, don't do that." She stopped, her hand in the air. "Why? Are you afraid of me now? Me who gave you everything? You tricked me. You used me." Her face hardened slightly. "Used? Look at you. Before me you were rich, yes, but now you are one of the most powerful men in Africa. Your business flies, your investments are thriving like never before. All thanks to me." She moved even closer. In return, I ask for almost nothing, just your loyalty, your silence, your presence by my side. He shook his head. I can't live like this. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to tell everything. She smiled again, but it didn't reach her eyes. Leave me. Oh, my love, you can't. You tried to see a priest today, didn't you? Baba? Chief Amadi paled. How do you know? I know everything, Chief Amadi. And tonight, Baba had a serious car accident on the Osogbo Road. He's in the hospital in a coma. He'll probably never wake up.
Chief Amadi felt his legs give way. He collapsed into a chair. You did that? I protect what is mine, she said, and you are mine. She knelt before him and took his face in her hands. Listen to me carefully. You will continue to live as before. You will smile at the cameras. You will sign contracts. You will sleep next to me. And every night, if you are good, I will keep my wig on. But if you try to betray me again, she brought her lips close to his ear. I will take it off, and this time I won't put it back on until you have looked at me for a long time. A very long time. She stood up, smoothed her dress. Now go up to bed. Tomorrow we're leaving for Abuja. You have a meeting with the president. Chief Amadi remained seated there long after she had left. Tears streamed silently down his cheeks. He was a prisoner in his own house, in his own life, with the woman he had loved, or at least thought he had loved. And somewhere deep inside, a small voice still whispered, how can I make her cry? How can I break a thing that never had a heart? If you like this story, subscribe and leave a comment of encouragement to support us. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.